Hey everybody, what's up? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you are here. This is Colleen Coles, purpose alignment coach and relationship coach. I'm just so excited to be doing this series. This is the Be You Challenge. And for everybody who was here live before, thank you so much. Had some tech difficulties and here we are. So if you're watching the replay, thank you. Thank you for your time, and I cannot wait to share with you what is in my heart and my truth to share. Leave me a comment. Go ahead and just let me know right now that you are watching the replay, where you're watching from. I would love to hear and get back to you as well. So what is this whole thing about? I feel like so many times we hear, especially like more often now, be yourself, be authentic. And that sounds good, kind of like self-love and like self-care. It sounds really good, but are we really doing it? Because at the same time, there can be so much pressure to do what you've been good at, right? For so long. Or maybe for you, it's like what you trained in, right? Like this is what people expect. And that only in the past that could have worked, but now, what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video is why it is so important right now. It is the best timing, maybe in your life, to really go out and do what you would love, what you feel called to, and express your truest authenticity. And again, that can feel hard, right? That can feel really hard. So today I want to go into why that feels hard, but in a way that actually really makes sense and that we can uproot kind of the main block that keeps us from living out our truth. Okay. So, again, I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you feel keeps you stuck the most? What keeps you from being yourself, whether it's in romantic relationships, with your family, with your friends, or in your job? What is it that keeps you from living out who you think you are and what you feel called to do? Because I bet there is something within you that wants to be heard and wants to be shared. And if you have a bigger dream, if you have a bigger goal, and maybe can't even see what that vision is yet, but know there's something different for you, know there's a different calling, I want you to know you're okay where you're at. It can feel so stuck to think there's something out there for me that I'm not getting at, but yet you feel this calling, right? And so you might be asking yourself, like, how do you even get there? Or what do you do if you can't see it? And the first step that I've seen is that we need to really say what we mean. We really need to become who we are on the outside to then even allow in the clarity to get to that bigger vision. And what I want to share too is how in my experience, it hasn't always been easy. But as I keep doing what I really feel called to do, that's when I am even more supported than I ever thought I could be. I was just an elementary teacher back in 2014, teaching, but really not lit up about that and feeling really stuck because I was good at it, but I did not feel lit up. And I kept pushing to become a better teacher, to do the teaching, because I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. Like that was kind of the rule in my head without realizing there was a rule, was like, oh no, but I studied for this. People think I'm good at this. I have to keep doing this. I have to make it worthwhile. And reality kept showing me though that I didn't want to get out of bed. Like I wasn't feeling excited about the work itself. And finally, it was this moment of realizing I don't actually have to do this anymore. Like this is a choice. And even if I can't see what's going to come next, that's the definition of faith, right? Like to move forward in the direction of what actually does feel good. That is what can lead us towards what we're meant to do. And so for me, that took some tuning into what really would light me up now, not back then, not even looking out into a 5-year plan or a future thing, but really for now, when we feel stuck or confused and like we're not being who we are on the inside, like what's going on inside isn't matching what's outside, the best way to really start to unleash and get into alignment, meaning everything looks like inside to outside, how we can start to get that spark back is by take notes, this is like a key, is to start to just honor what you want now and what lights you up now. Okay, so how do we really do that? Let's dive in. The way that we really can do that is by starting small, okay? There's two main ways. When I think of alignment, I think about how our thoughts match our words, match our actions in the world. And so when all three of those pieces are in sync, it's like a flow, right? It's when we get distracted by thinking, I really don't actually want to go to that party. But then outside you say, yeah, sure, I'll go. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. I'll totally go. Now there's a kink in the energy. So I'm also kind of an energy worker, and it's really fun to look at this kind of like it's just energy, because when we don't have our thoughts match our words, now there's a kink, and now you're distracted, and now you're being somebody who you're not, and now you're feeling shitty, and like it just goes downward. But when we have the bravery to start to stand up for ourselves, to start to really do what we want, that's when the bigger picture can start to get clear. Okay, so I want you to write me in the comments or go ahead in your own journal. What would make you start to feel free? What would have you feel a little bit lit up? And another really simple way to say this is like, what do you really want to do now? Just write that down. Like whatever that is, it can be as simple as like, I just want to take a bath, and make sure you do that today. Like I'm going to take a stand for you with conviction that you can make that possible. Okay. And in the course of this challenge, I'm going to really highlight what makes it feel like it's not. But as we go through it, the shackles that you have around you, making you feel like you can't be who you are or do what you want, I want those to start to be broken. Okay, that's what we're here to do, is to get out of this feeling like we don't have a choice. So the first step that I want to highlight today is for you to really think about what would light you up right now. In the present, it doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter what you're good at. It doesn't matter who you've had in your life. What would really light you up now? What do you want to do? And I want to challenge you to go do that thing today. Okay, so, okay. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is why this is so important to do right now, okay? So maybe you've been thinking about like posting a blog, or maybe like breaking up with the person you're dating right now, or transforming the relationship in some capacity, but you haven't quite done it. I want to tell you why being yourself right now in this time period is like the best thing you could do for all humanity, okay? So in a nutshell, as best as I can in like these couple minutes we have, is right now we are entering into a new age of humanity called the Aquarian Age. Great song about it in the 70s, right? Now, where we're coming from is an age called the Pleiadian Age. And this was an age kind of dominated by helping others through sacrifice, okay? So helping others through giving up what you didn't have. What this also looked like was more of a collective type of unit, where instead of helping others through going off on your own, you helped others in your society through doing what your family did, right? By sticking with the clan, by doing what others wanted you to do, so that there could be harmony. And so we've been taught, I have this really cool diagram right now on this like heart plate. Oh my God. Okay, so we have these two cups, and the way that we were trained to help people the most before was to see our cup as kind of not totally full, right? Whether that was in a religious setting or through society, like we need other people. And so we saw ourselves as unfull. So the way that we were really through the ages taught to help other people was to sacrifice when we didn't have and give to others, right? So that they could feel better. right? Solidarity, sacrifice, all that stuff, and really sticking with the clan, okay? Even to just stay safe. Right now, we're starting to go into a new era, which is probably even why we keep hearing about authenticity. We keep hearing about these things, but maybe can't feel like we can really live it out, right? Or like, what's all up with authenticity? Where we're going now, my friend, is this place of actually working from our overflow. And what's really cool is that it's actually a little bit more true to who we are. I want to invite you into the belief that maybe you are already whole and complete. You're actually already filled up, right? Like being born as a beautiful soul, you are already whole and complete, okay? Now, what can make us feel incomplete is when we adapt beliefs that make it feel like I have to give when I don't have, or I'm not enough, all these things that we deal with. But I want to invite you that those are almost like blocks on top, and that you actually are whole and complete. And so all of this to say, how does this relate to you living your authenticity and your purpose? Is that the more, like, you being yourself is going to be what helps the most people in the world, okay? Where we're going now is that you get to help people, and everybody, like everybody gets to live this, by being the person who shoots out with your own uniqueness, your own gifts, your talents, your desires, and shoots out that then inspires others to be themselves and do what they're meant to do on the planet. Okay, so it's like all of us are being called to something more, something fully unique to you. That then by you doing that and shedding the layers on top of you that make you think you can't, you're going to be inspiring other people to be themselves, but look, not just be themselves, to then do what they are really going to be great at. Whether it's being a mom, whether it's, working a cool job, whatever the case is, just being friendly to other people, that's them being themselves. You get to inspire other people to do their good work, and you are being called to, my friend. And it might feel hard. It might feel like this is wrong. It might feel like, well, I can't do this because it's against everything I know how to do. But the truth is, what's really interesting about that is the same thing that's in you and being called forth is probably directly against your fear that's keeping you stuck. And why? Because that fear is ready to be released, and like your freedom is on the other side of that fear. The same thing that you want. Think about this. What's like the thing? Go ahead and tell me in the comments or write it out. What's that thing that makes it feel like you hear yourself say, wouldn't it be cool if, like in that tone, you know what would be really cool is what? And that probably is going to make you feel like, well, no, I can't actually do that. And I want to tell you a story of when that happened to me. But just notice that thought, notice that voice, notice that feeling in you, because it's probably going to be directly opposite of what you think this is not allowed. Because that this is not allowed is what's ready to be broken open, needing to be broken open, so you can live out your truest purpose, being who you are. Purpose, to me, is just you being yourself while also helping other people. This whole thing happened to me last year around August. I remember I had just visited a healer in Brazil, and after I came back, I felt so different. I felt so much alive, like more alive. And there was this small inkling in me to go like, wouldn't it be cool if I actually went back again? Like, what if I just kind of like went to Brazil again, lived, tried on this like work-life balance thing, and actually got to surf more and actually got to be where I feel so alive. And at first it was like I hardly entertained that thought, because it was like, well, no, I can't do that. Like, I have a husband here. I just came back. Like, I don't have the money for this. There's no way. But as I started to apply what I'm inviting you to as well, just start to like push open that fear, noticing that it's the exact thing you're ready to break through, it started having me say, well, let me just look at the flights. Ooh, they're not as much as I thought. Well, how could I make this possible? And it shook up some things. It shook up some family and friends that were going to come visit me. And I was like, well, now I can't go because we already had this planned out. But sticking to my alignment and truth, it's not always going to be where people like it, right? Like, but the bravery that can come from us getting true with what you feel called to do, that actually is what can help you expand to where you want to go. And so for me, in my best truth and my most kindness, I said, you know what, I'm not going to be here. I felt so called to go. And I actually did. I decided to go. I made it happen financially. And I went to Brazil. I had the best time ever. And you know what's so cool? I made a whole new like business milestone in my business. I made more than I ever had ever. I like tripled my income that month, along with meeting new fantastic people, coming home and having the best relationship with my husband to date when I thought it was going to ruin everything. And all of this because I realized that belief on top of me giving from my overflow, being myself, doing what I felt called was like what was going to destroy me. That's what the fear will try to tell us. And so what I want to invite you is to follow this path of what you're being called to create, even if you can't see what it is. So starting small of saying, what would I love today? What would I love? What would juice me up? And that can start to give clarity for the bigger picture as well, while also letting that authentic truth guide you into beautiful, authentic relationships that support you. All of this is you moving from the old into the new of our collective movement here of helping people from our uniqueness, from our callings, from our being ourselves, rather than feeling stuck and like we have to keep giving from our lack or sacrifice. So all of that to say, you being you is what will have you live out your purpose. Well, what will have you clearing up what that freaking is? And will also have you in your authenticity. Like, it's the most important time to be authentic now, because you being you right now is what will actually have you living out your purpose, have you be able to help more people and make a difference that I know you're here to make, and I know you really want to. So let me know in the comments. We got a heart from Auda. Thank you, Auda. And let me know how this is landing for you. I think, homework is to really allow take what you'd like from this. What I invite you to do today is just see what would really light you up, because it's in the small ways that we can actually start to expand out into the bigger things of knowing what you want to do, knowing what you're here for, knowing what lights you up. And that truth of you knowing that, living that, and actually moving on it is what will give you the alignment, give you the flow, give you the speed to go help other people in the process by being yourself. So I cannot wait for tomorrow. We're going to be focusing on relationships. So good. It's going to be so good. And how to really attract in people who are totally supportive for you, loving for you, and really match you, and why we don't do that. It's going to be so good. Definitely tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. I cannot wait for it. You should get the email. If you are on my list, go to colleencoles.com and sign up for my freebie, which will allow you to get the links every single day for this challenge, along with friending me on Facebook, and I will be there with the link as well. So just get ready, because we're going to be covering relationships, which to me can be a huge block to us feeling we can be authentic. So I'm going to flip that script and show you how you can, and how you can attract in bigger people that only support and lift you up. Okay? Because we're all here for each other. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. This has been so fun. And I hope you have a great day. Share with me in the comments what you took from this. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. Geneva says, need this. Awesome, girl. So good. So guys, go out and live that. Let's make those thoughts and become our words, become our actions, even if it's something so small. That's what will help us give energy and help us live out more of that authenticity that will be helping other people the most. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 11, and take care for today.